Hey YouTube, Shukunshitobi here with a review of the Zyuden Sentai Kyoryuger Deinochaser and Kyoryu Red Set, also known as Deinochaser, since that's how the kana is read, and the dinosaur it's based off of is pronounced like that, kind of. So everyone thought it was Dino, but it's actually Deino, so we'll go with that. So anyway, this is about the same size and same scale of figure that was included in the Go Busters line as the Morphin Biken figure, the MBAF, that was Cheeda Nick and the Red Buster set. So same concept here. You do get one Zyudenchi included, the Deinochaser, little bannery there. Basically, you have the figure here, Deino, Chase, and the Zyudenchi. So very cool, and it shows all the functionality back there. To save space, I'm just going to pop this out of the way and focus on our contents. So first of all, we'll take a look at the Zyudenchi, Deinochaser. So it's a very weird yellow. I was expecting more of a orangey yellow like Deino here, over here. Him. I was expecting more of a yellow color compared to him. It's more of a kind of pale, kind of pastel kind of yellow, which I think is weird. I'm wondering if maybe if they make a candy toy or a capsule one, whether it's going to be more akin to the yellow it looks like on the show. So that's kind of a weird choice on their part. But with all the Zyudenchi, you get the charge mode and then the brave mode. So very neat overall. So far, the only way to get the Deinochaser Zyudenchi. So, pretty neat. As always with these things, you do have Gaburevolver functionality. There we go. So if we pop that in here. Yep, nothing. But if you press the trigger, you get that sound, which is basically the summoning of Dino and Chase to make the Deinochaser, and you got all sorts of bike action going on. So it doesn't have any sort of Vamola attacks or anything with the Gaburevolver, it's just the summoning noise itself. Here is the Kyoryu Red figure, and he is actually kind of neat, but not as good as the Red Buster that was with the MBAF figure. I think it's only because scaling-wise it's pretty much the same figure. However, there's just certain things that are off. Like, I mean, this isn't painted, his back isn't painted whatsoever. The arms aren't a different color red, so they're the same color red as the rest of the body, which we all know is inaccurate for the Kyoryugers. The helmet's not too bad, and like I said, it's kind of just a small figure. Here he is next to Figuarts Red Hawk, which is basically just a standard Figuarts size. So he is a little bit shorter. I would say he's more of a 5-inch figure as opposed to a 5.5, 6-inch figure like Figuarts are. So, I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's just it won't really fit in with any of your other figures. It's probably closer in size to the candy toy little figures that they got going on. Or was it Gashbon? Gashbon, maybe. I don't remember. But you do get a Gaburu Caliber and a Gaburevolver. No Gaburu Cannon, unfortunately, but you do get the individual weapons. Casted in black, I would have rather seen him casted in yellow, at least for the Gaburevolver. Gray would have been a better color for the Gaburu Cannon, or Gaburu Caliber rather, but oh well, not a big deal. Still a pretty neat little figure and a nice little substitute for a posable figure until we can get our hands on a Figuarts hopefully down the line. So pretty neat. Here is Deino. He's just kind of hanging out. These guys don't really have any posability or anything like that. They're just kind of here. Here he is next to Stegochi. So if you want to put them next to Stegochi, you can kind of get an idea of how big they are. I mean, granted, that is inaccurate to the show because Stegochi is huge, while Deino and Chase are more human-sized Zyudenryu things. They're not really full Zyudenryu. They're the guardians of the Zyudenryu or whatever. So, You get the idea. But still really neat. Here's Chase. Or Chaser, I don't remember what it is. But he just kind of hangs out down here. I like pulling these little foot guards back. It just makes it look better. The package shows them front ways. But yeah, pretty neat. You do have a little bit of articulation on this guy thanks to the transformation. So he can bend a little bit. He can do an overapu and get in like a pooping position. So there's that. Deino's a little bit more static. He doesn't really do too much. But they're still really neat, and they add to the Zyudenryu display that you got going on. So I think that's kind of neat too. So to make the bike mode, basically you have to twist this guy all around. Get him like that, and then these will go and push inward. It's a really, really weird way of doing it, but it works, I guess. So these pop open and push in. Just like that. And then that will flip open. Make sure you push his little arms inside that body cavity. And there you have the front half of the Deinochaser. Back here, just fold these back. This entire section will come forward. And right over the arm section, this will flip up to make the seat. And you're pretty much good to go on that guy. So take the Deinochaser Zyudenchi, brave in, and this is going to peg in here just like that, and then fold that up right along there. Fold these down. Those will be the footrests for Kyoryu Red. And then line up Dino's mouth, push in, that'll all lock in place. And there you have the Deinochaser. There isn't any sort of kickstand, so you're going to have to balance it. But there is a little gimmick that they got going on to make a kickstand by using Chase's feet. Just like that. So you do make a kickstand out of his foot, which I think is actually kind of cool. I mean, it's there, you might as well use it. So if you want to do both sides of that, you can make that, so it makes a stable bike. Looks kind of weird, but hey. There's no kickstand, so you might as well do it. It was in the instructions, so it's an official thing. I didn't just like find it or anything like that. And so we'll use that as a little prop. Just bring Kyoryu Red up here and get him all posed and ready to go. I'm really bad at posing figures on bikes. Their pose is always like incredibly unnatural and stupid. But yeah, I find not using the little stand there just as easy because it looks a little bit more natural like this. So here he is on there. I think the bike mode, the combined mode, is a little bit too big for the figure. I'm hoping it'll be nicely in scale with the figure art. Since if we pop Kyoryu Red off and kind of put it next to Red Hawk, you can kind of see that it's a lot nicer of a scaling if you pop Red Hawk on here. Looks a little bit more like an actual person riding a motorcycle as opposed to the actual Kyoryu Red figure. So I think that's kind of neat, and we'll see what happens when we get a Kyoryu Red figure art. So pretty cool overall. And to separate them, you just pull really hard, and it will split apart. Getting the Zyudenchi out is a little bit difficult, but overall it's not too bad. So this obviously can... That was like a fart there. Can work with Kyoryuzin. So let's check out his Vamola attack. So unlike in the Gaburevolver, Gaburevolver does get a Vamola attack for Deinochaser, so that's kind of neat too. So overall, this is a pretty nice little set. It is a tiny bit on the pricier side for what you get. I'll put the price down here because I don't remember it off the top of my head. But it's still really nice. You get two Zyudenryu sort of. Like I said, they have no functionality with Kyoryuzin in terms of combinations. But they fit nicely into a display, so I mean it's not like accurate, but it still looks cool. It adds a little bulk of dinosaurs to your display. So I think it's worth it in that aspect. Plus, you do get the Deinochaser Zyudenryu there. So there's no other way of getting that yet in terms of the announced Candy Toy and Gashapon releases. I'm sure we'll see it down the line at some point. But still really neat, and you do get a posable Kyoryu Red figure, since we don't really have a figure art yet or anything remotely close to one. So if you want a little bit posable figure, the only thing wrong with the figure really is the lack of elbow joints. I'm fine with everything else. As just a pack-in figure, I'm not expecting too much. An elbow joint would have been nice, but Red Buster didn't have one either, so this was expected. But still really cool, so if you're a fan of Kyoryuger, by all means, I do recommend this, particularly for Deinochaser, the Zyudenchi, and Deinos and Chase anyway. Because like I said, they do add a lot to a Zyudenryu display. So I think they're kind of a necessity for that point, so very cool overall, and a nice way to market these guys. Plus the bike mode is pretty sick, so can't complain there. You can check out ShukenShinobi.com for latest updates on my reviews and hauls, and of course check out Riders, Reigns, and Rambles, the podcast bringing the latest token news in the quickest way possible. And of course you can buy the Deinochaser set and more Kyoryuger merchandise at csjapan.com. So take care and have a great one. Bye.